Jenna sat at her kitchen table, sipping her coffee as the morning sunlight filtered through the window. At 40, she was about to make a life-changing decision. For years, she had worked as a beauty consultant in a local salon. She loved her job, but deep down, Jenna always knew she wanted more. She had a dream of creating a beauty brand, a salon where women could not only come to get pampered but also feel empowered. It was a dream that had been simmering inside her for years, but now at 40, it felt like the right time to act. A vision taking shape. Jenna had always been a hard worker. She had learned the ropes of the beauty industry over the years, starting with a part-time job in high school and working her way up to a respected consultant at a local salon. But as her 40th birthday approached, something shifted. Jenna knew that if she didn't take the leap now, she might never have the courage to pursue her passion fully. She had a vision, a beauty salon that wasn't just about haircuts or facials. It would be a space where women could come to feel good about themselves, recharge, and rediscover their confidence. Jenna's goal was to create an environment that combined high-end services with a deep sense of community and empowerment. However, there was one big obstacle: money. Like many women in her position, Jenna didn't have the resources to open a full-fledged salon. She had savings, but not nearly enough to cover rent, equipment, and the staff she would need. She had two options: to keep working at the salon and daydream about the life she could have, or take a huge risk and invest everything she had into starting her own business. Taking the first step. One morning, after weeks of soul-searching, Jenna made the decision. She was going to take the plunge. Jenna applied for a business loan, using her savings as collateral. She also started putting together a business plan, mapping out everything from the type of services she would offer to the aesthetic of the salon. She researched the best locations, looking for a spot that had high foot traffic but was still affordable for a small startup. The dream was beginning to feel like a tangible reality. Her husband, David, was supportive but nervous. He had always been the steady one, the one who liked to play it safe. "Are you sure, Jenna?" he asked, as they sat down to discuss the idea one evening. "It's a big risk. What if it doesn't work out?" Jenna smiled, trying to reassure him, though a small part of her was just as unsure. "I know it's a risk, but I've been thinking about this for years. I have a vision, David. I just need to take the first step. I won't know unless I try." David nodded, though he didn't fully share her excitement. "I'll support you, but you have to promise me you won't give up if things get tough." Jenna promised, her heart swelling with determination. She knew this was the right decision, even if it meant stepping into the unknown. The first step had been taken. The dream was on its way to becoming a reality. The salon, finding the right location. The search for the perfect location was a daunting task. Jenna wanted her salon to be in an area that was accessible, welcoming, and in a community where people appreciated quality service. After weeks of searching, she found a small space in a growing neighborhood. It was far from perfect, a bit run down, with faded walls and an outdated interior, but Jenna saw potential. She could picture it in her mind, a beautiful modern beauty salon with clean lines, calming colors, and an inviting atmosphere. The price was right, and after some back-and-forth negotiations, Jenna signed the lease. The space was hers, but the real work was just beginning. She had to transform the space into her dream salon. It was a daunting task. There were contractors to hire, paint to choose, and furniture to buy. Jenna poured every ounce of her energy into the renovation process. She spent hours searching for the right pieces of furniture, researching the best equipment, and designing the layout. Every inch of the space had to reflect her vision, from the soft lighting to the modern fixtures. The challenges of getting started. Opening a business wasn't all smooth sailing, however. Jenna faced challenges from the very start. The contractor she hired was late on deadlines, and the initial budget she had set for renovations quickly spiraled out of control. There were moments of doubt when she wondered if she had made a mistake. Would the salon be successful? Could she really compete with the bigger, more established salons in the area? But Jenna refused to give up. Every challenge was an opportunity for growth, she told herself. When the budget exceeded expectations, she cut back on other expenses, making sacrifices where she could. When the contractor didn't meet deadlines, she took on some of the work herself, staying up late into the night to paint the walls and arrange the furniture. The one thing that never wavered was her belief in the concept. Jenna knew that the salon would be something special. She wasn't just creating a business, she was creating a space for women to come and feel their best. This was what kept her going on those tough days, her unwavering belief in her vision. Opening day, the dream becomes reality. The day the salon opened its doors was a mix of excitement, nervousness, and sheer determination. Jenna had planned every detail, from the grand opening event to the personalized services that would make her clients feel pampered and valued. She had invited friends, family, and members of the community to come and see what she had built. When the doors opened, Jenna could hardly believe it. She was officially a business owner. The first few weeks were slow, just as Jenna had expected. But soon, the clients began to trickle in. They came for the beauty services, but many of them came back for the warm, welcoming atmosphere Jenna had worked so hard to create. Word of mouth spread, and before long, the salon was thriving. Clients came for a haircut, a facial or massage, but they also came to talk, to laugh, and to share their stories. It was exactly what Jenna had envisioned, a community space where women could feel good about themselves. Building a reputation, word-of-mouth success. Jenna's salon slowly gained traction. She was fortunate to have a loyal client base, many of whom came back regularly for their beauty treatments. Jenna worked tirelessly to keep up with the demand, offering personalized services, hosting events, and building relationships with her clients. She always made sure that her team was trained to provide the best customer service, and as the reputation of the salon grew, so did its success. One of the things Jenna focused on was creating a brand. She didn't just want her salon to be another beauty spot, she wanted it to stand for something. She created a brand that represented empowerment, confidence, and self-care. Her slogan, "Where beauty meets confidence," became well known in the community, resonating with every client who walked through the door. Jenna stood in the middle of the empty salon space, her heart racing with a mixture of excitement and nervousness. The walls were bare, the floor still covered in dust, but in her mind, she could already see the final picture. It was going to be perfect. At 40, Jenna was about to take the most significant risk of her life. For years, she had worked as a beauty consultant in a local salon, gaining valuable experience and skills, but something inside her had always known she was meant for more. She had always dreamt of creating her own space, a salon that wasn't just about beauty treatments but also about creating an environment where women could feel empowered. A place where they could come not just to look good, but to feel good about themselves. Now, the time had come to make that dream a reality. The excitement of building her brand from the ground up was contagious, but the fear of failure loomed in the background. Jenna knew the journey ahead wouldn't be easy, but she also knew that if she didn't take this leap, she would regret it for the rest of her life. The first step, overcoming doubts. In the weeks leading up to the opening of her salon, Jenna found herself questioning everything. She had worked long hours, saved as much money as she could, and put together a plan, but doubts crept in. Was she doing the right thing? Would the salon succeed? Was she really capable of handling the business side of things? But every time Jenna felt herself slipping into doubt, she reminded herself of her why, the reason she was doing this in the first place. It wasn't about the money or the prestige. It was about building a legacy that would empower women and help them feel confident and beautiful. She was doing this for herself, for her future, and for the future of every woman who would walk through her doors. The first step was the hardest. Taking out a business loan using her savings as collateral felt like a huge gamble. It wasn't just about money, it was about everything she had worked for and everything she dreamed of achieving. But once the loan was approved and the money was in place, Jenna knew she was committed. There was no turning back. Creating the space, turning vision into reality. With the loan secured, Jenna moved forward with the salon's renovation. She spent countless hours selecting the perfect furniture, choosing calming colors for the walls, and carefully planning the layout of the space. Her vision was becoming clearer every day. This salon wasn't just going to be another place to get a haircut, it was going to be a sanctuary for women, a place where they could take a break from the chaos of life and just focus on themselves. She worked closely with contractors and designers to transform the old, dusty space into a sleek, modern haven. Jenna's vision for the salon was a reflection of her personality, welcoming, calming, and empowering. The floor-to-ceiling mirrors, comfortable seating, and soft lighting were all meant to create an atmosphere of relaxation and confidence. But it wasn't just the physical space that was important, it was the experience she wanted to create for every person who walked through her doors. Managing the risks, the challenges of a new business. No matter how much Jenna had prepared, there were still many obstacles to overcome. Running a business wasn't as glamorous as she had imagined. The paperwork, the constant decision-making, and the never-ending tasks of managing staff, inventory, and clients were overwhelming at times. The contractor she had hired ran into delays, and Jenna found herself juggling the renovation alongside planning the grand opening. She had a strict budget, but it was easy for costs to spiral out of control. Each delay and unexpected expense made Jenna question whether she had made the right choice. Was this really worth all the stress? But Jenna didn't back down. She saw every challenge as an opportunity to learn and grow. When the contractor failed to meet deadlines, Jenna took matters into her own hands, staying late to finish the painting herself or rearranging the furniture when things didn't go as planned. Jenna didn't have a background in business, but her passion for her vision kept her focused. She learned to manage the finances, create marketing strategies, and keep track of inventory. Every mistake was a lesson, and every victory, no matter how small, felt like a step closer to her dream. The first clients, building relationships. Opening day finally arrived, and Jenna couldn't have been more excited, or nervous. She had spent months planning the grand opening, ensuring everything was perfect. She had invited friends, family, and members of the community to come and see the space, but Jenna knew that the real test would come once the doors were open to the public. The first few weeks were slow, just as Jenna had expected. She had put in countless hours preparing, but the clients didn't rush in all at once. Instead, they trickled in, one by one. Jenna greeted each of them with a warm smile, ensuring they felt welcome and valued. She wanted every client to feel like they were the most important person in the room. What Jenna quickly learned was that building a business wasn't just about providing great services, it was about creating relationships. Her clients didn't just come for the beauty. The first few months of running her salon had been both exhilarating and exhausting. Jenna had worked tirelessly to establish the salon as a welcoming space, but she knew that to truly make her business successful, she needed more than just a beautiful location and loyal clients. She needed a team, a group of passionate, skilled professionals who shared her vision for the brand. In the beginning, Jenna had done everything herself. She was the one answering the phones, scheduling appointments, greeting clients, and even cleaning the salon. But as the demand grew, Jenna realized that she couldn't do it all alone. The salon was becoming busier, and if she wanted to scale her business, she needed to delegate tasks and build a team that could help bring her vision to life. The first hires, choosing the right team members. Hiring the right people was a daunting task. Jenna didn't want just anyone working for her, she wanted people who were as passionate about beauty and empowerment as she was. The atmosphere at her salon was as important as the services they offered, and Jenna needed a team that would uphold that vision. She started by looking for stylists who had both the technical skills and the ability to connect with clients on a personal level. Jenna didn't just want employees who could cut hair or apply makeup, she wanted people who could create an experience for the clients, making them feel special and valued. She also hired receptionists who were organized, friendly, and able to handle the fast-paced environment of a growing salon. Her first hire was Marissa, a talented stylist who had worked at high-end salons but was looking for a place where she could truly make a difference. Marissa had a warm, approachable personality, and Jenna could see that she would be a perfect fit for the brand. Next, Jenna hired Mia, a receptionist who was efficient and great with clients, ensuring that every appointment ran smoothly. At first, Jenna was still heavily involved in the day-to-day operations of the salon, but as her team grew, she was able to focus more on the bigger picture, building the brand and expanding the business. The team worked together to ensure that every client left feeling not just beautiful, but empowered. Creating a brand identity. As Jenna's team grew, so did her sense of responsibility to the brand. She had always dreamed of creating a beauty salon that wasn't just about looking good on the outside, it was about building confidence, self-love, and empowerment. Jenna wanted her salon to be a reflection of her values, and she knew that establishing a strong brand identity was crucial. She spent countless hours brainstorming, refining the salon's mission, and creating a brand that was more than just a logo or a catchy slogan. Jenna's brand would represent beauty, confidence, and empowerment for women of all ages. She wanted women to walk into the salon and feel as though they were part of something special, something that was about more than just a makeover. The slogan, "Where beauty meets confidence," became the heart of her brand. It wasn't just a tagline, it was a promise. Jenna made sure her team understood the brand's message and how to communicate it to every client. Every client interaction, from the initial phone call to the final goodbye, was an opportunity to reinforce that message. The salon wasn't just a place to get a haircut, it was a space for women to reconnect with their inner strength and beauty. Jenna knew that building a strong brand wasn't just about having a great logo or catchy marketing. It was about consistency in every aspect of the business, from the way the salon looked and felt to the way the team interacted with clients. She spent time creating an atmosphere that embodied the salon's values, ensuring that every detail, from the decor to the customer service, reflected her vision. Marketing and growing the clientele. As the salon's reputation grew, Jenna began to focus more on marketing and expanding the salon's reach. She knew that word of mouth was powerful, but she also wanted to ensure that more people knew about her brand. Jenna wasn't familiar with all aspects of marketing, so she hired a social media manager and began investing in online advertising. Her social media presence became a crucial part of the brand's success. Jenna used Instagram, Facebook, and Pinterest to showcase her work, share testimonials, and engage with clients. She made sure the posts reflected the salon's core values, promoting beauty and confidence while also celebrating diversity and inclusivity. The response was overwhelming, and soon, Jenna's salon had a steady stream of new clients. In addition to social media, Jenna organized community events, offering free beauty workshops, makeup classes, and styling sessions. These events not only attracted new clients but also helped to strengthen the salon's relationship with the local community. Jenna's commitment to empowering women was evident in everything she did, and her community-focused approach helped to build a loyal clientele. The importance of client relationships. As the business grew, Jenna knew that building lasting relationships with her clients was essential. The salon wasn't just about providing a service, it was about creating a memorable experience that clients would want to come back to. Jenna made sure that her team understood this, emphasizing the importance of building trust with every client. One of the ways Jenna fostered strong client relationships was by remembering their names, preferences, and personal stories. She encouraged her team to go above and beyond to make clients feel comfortable and cared for. Whether it was remembering a client's birthday or offering a free product sample, these small touches made a big difference. Jenna also implemented a loyalty program to reward repeat clients. By offering discounts and special perks for loyal customers, Jenna ensured that clients felt valued and appreciated. The loyalty program was a hit, and soon, many of the salon's clients were booking appointments every month. The shift, a growing brand and expanding vision. As the salon continued to grow, Jenna began to think bigger. She knew that to take her business to the next level, she would need to expand. But she also knew that expansion wasn't just about opening new locations, it was about maintaining the essence of the brand and the values that had made the salon successful in the first place. Jenna began researching how to scale the business and considered franchising as a possible route. She knew that in order to maintain the brand's integrity, she would need a strong system in place, one that could be replicated in new locations while still preserving the empowering community-focused culture of her original salon. Jenna wasn't ready to expand just yet, but the idea of growing her brand beyond her local community was always on her mind. She took her time, carefully planning the next steps and ensuring that the foundation she had built would support her vision for the future. As Jenna stood in the middle of her salon one quiet evening, she couldn't help but reflect on how far she had come. It had been a few years since she opened her doors, and the business was thriving, but the road had not been without its challenges. Every success had come with its own set of hurdles, and every obstacle seemed to test her resolve. But Jenna had learned one valuable lesson: no matter how tough things got, there was always a way through. The strain of scaling up. In the beginning, the salon had been small, intimate, just a few clients a day, a few employees. But as word of mouth spread, so did the demand. The small team that Jenna had built was quickly overwhelmed. What once felt manageable became a whirlwind of schedules, bookings, and client needs. Jenna found herself torn between managing the daily operations of the salon and ensuring the business was growing in the right direction. The first major obstacle she faced was staffing. Jenna had hired talented people, but as the salon expanded, she needed more hands on deck. Hiring became a challenge as Jenna realized that finding the right people was more difficult than she had anticipated. It wasn't just about hiring skilled beauty professionals, it was about finding individuals who embodied the salon's values, those who were passionate, compassionate, and committed to the brand's vision of empowerment. After a few missteps, Jenna learned to take her time during the hiring process. She sought out not only skilled professionals but also people who would gel with her team and uphold the culture she had worked so hard to build. She introduced a more structured interview process, seeking alignment in values, which ultimately helped her find employees who were not just talented but also deeply invested in the salon's success. Financial struggles, a constant battle. As the business grew, Jenna realized that financial challenges were inevitable. Running a salon was expensive, and as much as Jenna had hoped to reinvest profits back into the business, the reality of managing cash flow was always in the back of her mind. When she opened a second location, the financial strain intensified. The cost of rent, payroll, inventory, and marketing added up quickly, and Jenna found herself juggling multiple financial obligations. There were months when she worried if the salon could keep its doors open. The pressure to pay bills while keeping the business growing was overwhelming. Jenna would lie awake at night, her mind racing with numbers, budgets, and plans. "How do I make this work?" she would ask herself, staring at the ceiling. But despite the fear and uncertainty, Jenna was determined to make it work. She knew that the hard work would eventually pay off. She hired a financial advisor who helped her create a budget that would allow her to save, pay bills, and reinvest in the business. Slowly but surely, Jenna became more confident in managing the business's finances. She learned to make smarter decisions with her money, cutting back in areas where she could and investing wisely in the things that mattered most: quality service, marketing, and employee development. Dealing with negative feedback. Not all feedback was positive. Jenna had always prided herself on creating an inclusive, empowering space, but as her salon grew, so did her public presence. With success came exposure, and with exposure came criticism. Some clients didn't like changes to the menu of services or the increased pricing as the business expanded. Some customers even posted negative reviews online. The negative comments stung. Jenna was used to pleasing her clients, but she realized that not everyone would always be satisfied. At first, she took the criticisms personally. She would spend hours reflecting on every bad review, wondering where she went wrong. It affected her confidence, and she began doubting her abilities. But as the days went by, Jenna realized that criticism wasn't a reflection of her worth, it was simply a part of the business. She began taking a more constructive approach to negative feedback. She used it as an opportunity to learn and improve. Jenna personally responded to every review, addressing concerns professionally and making adjustments where necessary. She realized that while she couldn't please everyone, she could continue striving to create the best possible experience for her loyal clients. The challenge of balancing family and business. One of the toughest aspects of running a business was balancing her family life with the demands of her growing salon. Jenna was a mother and wife, and while her family had been supportive, there were times when her work-life balance was off-kilter. She found herself missing family events, spending evenings at the salon instead of at home with her children, and her husband, David, often felt neglected. Jenna realized she had to create boundaries to protect her family life. She started scheduling her time more effectively, setting aside certain hours for family and ensuring that weekends were reserved for her loved ones. It wasn't easy, especially when the business demanded her attention, but Jenna knew that her family was the foundation of her success. Without their support, none of this would be possible. Over time, David became more involved in the business, offering help with the administrative side of things. He wasn't just her husband, he became her business partner, helping to keep things running smoothly at home and in the salon. Jenna learned the importance of communication and delegation, and slowly, the strain between her personal and professional life began to ease. The turning point, realizing the dream. Despite the obstacles, Jenna began to see the fruits of her labor. As she pushed through the hard times, she witnessed small victories that kept her going. She gained a loyal clientele, expanded her team, and saw her brand grow in recognition. More importantly, she saw how her hard work had impacted others. Women came into the salon not just for beauty treatments, but for support, advice, and encouragement. Jenna's dream of creating an empowering space was becoming a reality. One afternoon, as Jenna sat at her desk, looking over her business plan, she realized just how far she had come. The salon was thriving, her team was growing, and her brand was becoming known in the community. There was still so much more to do, but Jenna felt proud of what she had accomplished so far. Every struggle, every challenge, had only made her stronger, and she knew that she was on the right path. By the time Jenna's salon reached its 3rd anniversary, her dream of building something bigger was becoming more than just a possibility. Jenna had built a solid foundation in her local community, and the salon had become a go-to destination for women looking to feel empowered. But Jenna knew there was more to be done. She couldn't stop here. Her vision was grander. She wanted to create a beauty empire that would serve women across the country. Expanding to a national level was daunting, but it was time to take that leap. The first step to expansion. The decision to expand wasn't made lightly. Jenna knew the challenges of scaling a business went beyond opening new locations. She had to think about brand consistency, client experience, and how to maintain the unique, empowering atmosphere of her salon. The first step was choosing where to open the next location. Jenna knew she needed a city with a large, diverse population. After much research, she chose a metropolitan area several hours away. It wasn't too far to manage, but the location had high foot traffic, making it a promising option. Opening the second salon was a huge milestone. Jenna poured her heart into the new location, ensuring it reflected the brand's core values. As the second location thrived, Jenna knew she was on the right path. The business was growing, and the brand was expanding. Hiring the right team, building a franchise culture. Hiring was another challenge. With the first salon, Jenna had personally selected each employee. But now, with the second location, she needed to hire a team that understood her vision. She wanted staff who were as passionate about the brand as she was. She recruited experienced professionals who embodied the salon's values of empowerment and excellence. She hired a strong manager for the new location and carefully trained the team to deliver the same experience and quality of service. Jenna's approach to staffing helped her create a solid, committed team at the second location. Their shared passion for the brand was crucial to maintaining the atmosphere Jenna had worked so hard to create. Franchising, turning her dream into a national brand. After the second location's success, Jenna began considering franchising. She knew franchising would allow her to expand rapidly, while still maintaining the quality and culture of her original salon. But Jenna didn't jump into franchising without careful planning. She worked with a consultant to develop a detailed franchise model, ensuring it was scalable and sustainable. She spent months building the franchise package, which included a business plan, marketing strategies, and operational guidelines. She wanted every franchisee to have everything they needed to succeed. Jenna's goal was not just to grow her business, but to help others succeed in the process. The first franchisee, a new chapter in expansion. After months of research and preparation, Jenna signed her first franchisee. The new location opened in a city several hours away, marking a huge step in expanding her brand. Jenna made sure the franchisee received thorough training, ensuring they understood the brand's core values and how to deliver a consistent experience to clients. The grand opening of the first franchise was a huge success, and it became clear that the brand had staying power. The new location was a hit, and soon, more franchisees began reaching out. Jenna's dream of building a national beauty empire was becoming a reality. National recognition, Jenna's brand goes global. With the success of the first few franchise locations, Jenna's brand started to gain national attention. Media outlets began to feature her story, and her salons became known for their empowering environment. Jenna's social media following grew, and clients from across the country began discovering her brand. Jenna used her platform to promote the message of empowerment, beauty, and confidence, resonating with women everywhere. As her brand expanded, she stayed connected with her clients and remained focused on the values that had made her salon so successful. The brand's growth was not just a reflection of Jenna's business acumen, but of her commitment to empowering women. Each new location was more than just a business expansion, it was an opportunity to make a positive impact on the lives of women across the nation. A legacy of empowerment. Looking back, Jenna couldn't help but feel proud. She had built a beauty empire that empowered women everywhere. But more than that, she had created a legacy, one that would continue to inspire women for generations. Her salons were more than just places to get a beauty treatment, they were spaces where women could feel confident, beautiful, and supported. Her journey had been full of challenges, but Jenna had proven that with hard work, vision, and determination, anything was possible. She was living her dream, and the future was brighter than ever.